The UFC is home to some of the most violent professionals on the planet, but sometimes behind-the-scenes information comes to light and shows MMA fans a different side than what we might see in the octagon. For some, these leaks led to embarrassment. For others, it plays right into their personas. Welcome to Sportskeeda MMA, where we will explore the top 5 recent UFC fighter leaks. Number 5. Ngannou's UFC 270 leaks. UFC heavyweight champ Francis Ngannou made several headlines this year for not getting paid the way a fighter who almost murders all of his opponents should. But leading up to UFC 270, a dark secret was leaked from Ngannou's camp, and it wasn't the famous sparring footage. Ngannou suffered a torn MCL and damaged ACL in training, and a week before the fight, the betting line started to move in favor of challenger Ciryl Gane. It was at that moment Ngannou's coach Eric Nicksick knew that word had gotten out about the injury. Nicksick went on to blame the physical layout of the UFC PI for the leak. The nature of the glass training room, Ngannou wearing a knee brace, and many wondering eyes would generate a lot of rumors, and that they did. With news of the injury, it was then revealed that Ngannou's team suggested he would draw from the fight, but Ngannou disagreed and would go on to handle Ciryl Gane like a champion. Apparently, Ciryl Gane's coach Fernand Lopez actually believed that Ngannou's camp was trying to trick Gane by walking into the octagon at UFC 270 with 2 knee braces on. Unfortunately for Lopez, corporate espionage tactics are not actually that common in combat sports. Number 4. Khamzat Chimaev leaks sparring footage. Khamzat Chimaev has taken the UFC by storm and hopefully plans to jump right into the title contention with a win over Gilbert Burns in April, a potential fight that Chimaev himself leaked on his Instagram story. Say what you will, but this man knows how to sell a fight. But one thing Chimaev doesn't like are prying eyes selling the secrets of his MMA game. Recently, Chimaev went down to Tiger Muay Thai in anticipation of making the rest of the welterweight division his children. Among his training partners was undefeated Bellator champ Yaroslav Amosov, one light heavyweight kickboxing champ Roman Kriklia, and UFC interim bantamweight champ Petr Yan. The who's who of competition definitely amounted for some grueling sparring sessions, and more importantly, octagon strategy. But unfortunately, some of his training footage was leaked online, and that's exactly what Chimaev did not want. All these onlookers with phones recording every grappling exchange, every punch, every time he beats Darren Till to death with a stick. Khamzat did however share a video of himself grappling with Yaroslav Amosov, no doubt a show of respect to the Bellator champ, but Chimaev can do whatever he wants at this point. Chimaev is just trying to say that if you're at the gym and you're not a member of a media team, get off your phone and train or leave. Number 3. Jessica Andrade owns her leaked nudes like a champ. Former UFC strawweight champion Jessica Andrade also has a sweet side gig as an OnlyFans model, and this is not a badge of dishonor by any stretch of the imagination. Recently, Andrade was the victim of nude photos leaked online, which went viral in her home country of Brazil, and then caught the attention of your friendly neighborhood MMA creeps. The thing is, Jessica Andrade didn't really care. She actually kind of expected it when she took the photos. In fact, she laughed at the many fan-generated memes and enjoyed the fact that people were celebrating her body, which prompted her to start an OnlyFans page. Not only did she look at the situation positively, she turned a couple of nudes into a fat OnlyFans check that paid for her car, 7 months rent in advance, and still had money to help her family back home in Brazil. So the moral of the story is that Jessica Andrade is an absolute stud, and OnlyFans has been keeping families financially stable since 2016. Number 2. Jon Jones Leakathon. Not only is Jon Jones one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time, he is also known for having some of the hardest career meltdowns among fighters. And luckily for nosy MMA fans, most of his pitfalls have been as public as a petting zoo. Back in October of 2021, Jon Jones' DM to MMA journalist Amy Kaplan was leaked. The DM was in response to Kaplan calling Jones a poor role model, and Jones retorted by saying she looked like a witch and was disgusting for judging someone. Earlier that year, Colby Covington spilled the beans on Jon Jones' roid rage while they were college roommates, even saying that Jones would randomly scream at him to do the dishes. Imagine how terrible of a roommate you have to be to get on Covington's bad side. To top it all off, an actual police body cam video was leaked by Review Journal that gave a disturbing visual of Jones's Las Vegas arrest back in 2021. In the video, you can see Jones call officers crude names, inciting racial tension, and Hulk smashing his head on a police SUV. Jones probably thought to himself that getting punched in the face for money isn't good enough, but getting CTE from a cop car hits the sweet spot. Number 1. Conor McGregor leaks official UFC 257 pay-per-view numbers. Conor McGregor has been the subject of numerous leaks throughout his meteoric career in the UFC. From Poirier's wife sliding in his DMs, to leaking private conversations with Uncle Dana about fighting a 37-year-old Diego Sanchez, McGregor never shied away from revealing secrets. But just last year, McGregor flexed on the entire MMA world and showed just how valuable his presence is to the UFC. Months after his trilogy fight with Poirier, McGregor tweeted the pay-per-view numbers of UFC 257. The tweet showed projected buys and actual buys, which, if the math is correct, amounts to just over $100 million generated on that night alone. No doubt, the tweet was seen by many as out of taste, but others as a gesture of his ludicrous accomplishments in the sport. The moral of the story of this leak is that most people would love to generate $100 million for getting knocked out by a Louisiana hot sauce salesman. You know who else deserves $100 million? You, of course, but only if you subscribe to Sportskeeda MMA and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Thanks for watching.